Who will the Patriots start for week 5? That is the big question. I'm Mariah Janos, joined by Evan Lazar. Evan, we saw Hoyer start the last game. It was only a matter of time until Jarrett Stidham came in. Was not a great performance from either of them, but who do you think is getting the start this Sunday?
Well, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport went on TV last night, and he said that Jarrett Stidham sounds like he might be the guy. But I think that this really throws a wrench in it with Stephon Gilmore's positive test, that he's not going to have practice at least Wednesday and Thursday. They're hoping to get back in the facility on Friday, but it sounds like Friday could be up in the air as well. Throwing a quarterback like Stidham, who's a young guy, second year in the league, into the fire like that against Vic Fangio, who's a really great defensive mind, one of the better defensive coordinators in the entire NFL. He's obviously the head coach of the Broncos at this point, but he's a great DC. So to throw Jarrett Stidham into the fire against a guy like that who loves to spin the dial, loves to do different things in the back end and confuse quarterbacks, it's a lot to ask. But at the same time, if it is Brian Hoyer and they revert back to the veteran, he's going to have a very, very short leash, even shorter than it was on Monday night, certainly, where if the first couple of drives really look very stagnant, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Stidham grab his helmet.
Today's segment is powered by CarShield, America's #1 auto protection company. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention the code BEAT, or go to carshield.com. Enter the promo code BEAT for 10% off. That's carshield.com, promo code BEAT. Now, as you mentioned, no practice today, no practice tomorrow. How much tougher does that make it to give Stidham the reins on this one?
Almost impossible, I think, because if you go back to training camp, he got hurt in camp, right? So he only practices in camp for about 4 or 5 days. Then he gets injured. And on top of that, Cam Newton was in the building. So all of a sudden they have to compete for snaps with Cam. And then eventually the reins get totally passed over from Cam. So I think that's the difference right now for Jarrett Stidham versus, everybody wants to make this, Stidham was the backup plan, right? So why wasn't he in there? He was going to be the starter up until the point that they signed Cam Newton. It's a much different game when you say, okay, we're going to go into camp with Stidham as the QB1. He's going to get all the first team reps in training camp, all the first team reps in practice during the week, play in the games. We would be in a much different spot and going into week 5 with Jarrett Stidham if he was the guy from the jump back in August. Now he hasn't really had all that lead up time. He hasn't had all that practice time with the ones. And I think that that's why you saw him struggle a little bit on Monday night at times. So I think, again, it's Brian Hoyer for me for now, and then a very, very short leash on Sunday, certainly. And you just kind of hope that at least mentally he's in a better state of mind to take on that game manager role than he was against the Chiefs.
Well, you can catch all our Patriots coverage at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.